Are you ready for the heavyweight championship of the world? Are you ready?
All right, welcome back. My name is Bill.
And I'm Barry. This has been an interesting week, Bill. I know something cool flew on your calendar. Mine's too. You mind sharing that with us?
Yes, sir. So I noticed this week we had some verses popped up, some verses dates. So next Wednesday, the 16th, we have Trina, the baddest bee, versus the pit bull in the skirt, Eve. On this 26th, we have Soulja Boy, Mr. I Did Everything First, versus Bow Wow, Mr. 106 in Park. And we do have one special on July 1st, which is blurred out. We have no idea who it is, but we've been
Mr.
talking.
and Mrs. Anonymous.
It's anonymous. We've been talking. So I think we can kind of, we're going to throw out some potentials that it could be.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
All right, so this is what we want to do. Obviously, some big matchups. And the one thing that's cool about Versus is we can't wait for the matchups to show up. The unfortunate side, it's difficult getting these guys into the same room. So sometimes we have to wait weeks. But the dates that you threw out, Bill, were the 16th, 26th, and then right after that, July 1st. So it's back to back to back. All right, so what we want to do is we want to kind of, this is all preliminary. Obviously, this hasn't happened yet, but we're going to give out our guesses on who we think who do we think will win when it comes to Trina versus Eve. Also, who do we think will win when it comes to Bow Wow versus Soulja Boy? And then we also going to give a crack at trying to guess who's the special guests on July 1st, right?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So, without any further ado, let's just get into it, man. And I like how it's cool how you remember everyone's nickname. So first up, round one, let's talk about Pitbull in the skirt versus the baddest bee.
All right.
All right, so my question to you, number one, when you go into a versus, sometimes I feel like it's like a landslide or it's obvious. We kind of know who will dominate. Mm-hmm. With these, I think it's closer than most people think. So how did you actually prepare and try to guess like who's gonna? Do you think this will be a domination, or is it going to be a close call?
Well, speaking on the first one.
We only talking about Trina and Eve.
Okay, Eve and Trina. When I initially when I first saw it pop up, I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. But then when I thought about mainstream, bigger songs, who's the bigger artist, I think Eve is probably going to dominate Trina on a more mainstream side of it. However, Trina is from the South. She's from Miami, 305. So we always ride with Florida. But it may be a good one. They pretty much came out around the same time, somewhat around 99, 2000. So it should be a pretty good battle. I know it's going to be heavily watched.
It is. And that's the thing. Both of them, I think not really. Eve's not really regional. I was going to say Trina has a big following, but it's like, it's very South driven. So depending on where they have it at, depending on who's watching, depending on who's more active in the comment section, it may skew a lot of people's votes on who wins. But this is what I kind of did. I looked at, they have to do 20 songs. When you look at their catalog, what's the first no-brainers that come to mind? Mm-hmm. And for me, I ranked them on, okay, who has the most no-brainers? Like for Trina, I put the baddest bee. Here we go. Pull over, look back. I got a thing for you. And some of these are kind of asterisks, but I'm like, all right, be all right. Don't trip, single again. And then you got a lot of features like Slip and Slide Records. You don't know now. Take it to the house. So that's like 12 records based off of features and also the no-brainers I talked about.
Yeah. And you still got her.
But she also has like
the remix of Right There, Chingy's Right There.
That's what I'm saying. I left off some stuff to where it's like, that's going to be your bottom 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If she really want to pull something out the bag, I know she got a little line on "It's Your Birthday" with Uncle Luke. So I don't think she's gonna do that. But
no.
Out of her 20, it's gonna be like close to 12 songs that people are like, oh, that's a nuclear, that's a weapon of mass destruction. That's another weapon of mass destruction. It's like 10 or 12. With Eve, surprisingly, this is me going off the top of my head. I wrote down Gangsta Lovin', Got a Man, Blow Your Mind with Gwen Stefani, Love is Blind, What You Want. And then she got a whole lot of features.
But she also got Who's That Girl? Tambourine.
Yep. All right, keep going. What I left out.
It's like you know, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she has a few songs off of DMX features.
Well, I didn't bring up features yet. So you just brought up we brought up like 7 to 8. These are Eve singles, right? And then for the features, you got Hot Boys, you got Ride or Die Chick, and then a whole lot of DMX catalog. So she's going to dominate towards the features element, right? But then also, like, so based off of what we just said, it looks like it looks like based off of what we just said, off of what I list for Trina, it's like 12 no-brainers for Eve. Even though I stopped on the Eve catalog, I stretched towards the features where she'll actually dominate. It's like about, you're looking at 14 to 15 songs.
So let me ask you this. Let's kind of think about this very, quickly. Eve, what do we feel is Eve's biggest mainstream song?
Oh, it's the Gwen Stefani joint to me.
Let Me Blow Your Mind.
Yeah, right. To me, that's the one it's huge.
Yeah. What would be Trina's biggest mainstream song?
Man, they not a whole lot of mainstream there. It's a whole lot of hood records, and it's like stuff that you play in the car. But I mean, maybe pull over that. I'm just, because it mainly be like one-liners. It don't be the song itself. Like I'm the baddest B is because to be honest, it's You Don't Know Now, but that's not her song. It's Tricks.
It's not her song, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And the thing about it, that song probably could be it could be a shared song. It could be because she had her side, he had his side.
I mean, she made the song, which is why, like, even though it was Trick's song, it was her verses that got everybody. Like,
there's some standouts in that verse. I always kind of like to look at playlists. So I can kind of, I typically go to Apple playlists and I look up their hottest songs because you pull it up, their most common songs or top songs pop right up. And when I go into a verses, I kind of write down, what are your top songs, no brainer top songs, everybody's gonna know. And I kind of start filtering out songs from there. Then I do it for their opponent. And I kind of start to weigh. Okay, this is a heavy hitter. This is a heavy hitter. If they match up, like for instance, if we have, trying to think, let's say Michael Jackson going up against Usher.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
We know Usher's biggest song is probably
Yeah.
Michael's biggest song is
what?
You know what I mean? So if you take Usher's biggest song against Michael's biggest song, which one is going to win?
Yeah, it's not fair.
So, or if you say, okay, if Usher says I'm going to do a throwaway that round because I can't beat that song.
Yeah.
Well, can he beat Michael's second biggest song?
Yeah, I don't know if he can.
You know what I mean? And I know Michael is not a good.
Yeah, no, but I honestly feel that could be the case here. Like, and that's what I was saying. Like, even if Eve has more opportunities to throw away stuff than Trina would, the thing is, Trina has a lot of big records that are iconic, mainly for like one-liners or just a hook. But also, she runs out of those songs like around the 8 mark. Still with Eve, I'm like the no-brainer. Like some of those songs are, I feel like some of those, that's why I said when I was listing her go-to singles, I'm like, okay, you run out early too, but you got all these features. It's like 15 songs I could point to for her.
Yeah.
And I'm being modest. Like there's some that
Yeah.
I'm leaving on the table.
Yeah.
With Trina, it's like 12. So off rip, I think we're both on the same page saying Eve may win this. And some rounds it may I think some rounds, even depending on the song selection, that always matters. Eve is there's going to be a couple rounds where Trina knocks her out just because she'll play some of her biggest club records.
Absolutely.
But another thing is, I do believe that Trina may be a better showman than Eve. Eve spends a lot of time away from the spotlight, to where depending on how she presents the record, it may be a situation like with Escape versus SWV, to where, well, I presented better than you. So now the crowd, the comment section is rocking with me more than they rocking with you.
And I get that. However, you know, I love music. So I'm not looking at the crowd reaction to it. I more so look at, I know this song against this song. And what the good thing that we'll see the comments coming flying. We'll see the comments flying. So it's just making me think about.
You agree with the matchup?
I think Trina didn't have a matchup down south to battle. I think this is probably the best matchup for her, because Eve kind of had her time of run, and she was, you know, the first lady of Rough Riders. And, you know, when they all came out, they came out hitting hard.
It all depends on who got something to promote. I mean, Eve's promoting a show right now. So absolutely. I think she wanted to do it where a lot of people they weren't. Yeah. I don't got nothing to promote right.
Like, you know, if we had to think about other matchups, of course, we want to see Lil' Kim versus Foxy Brown. We would want to see Cardi B versus Nicki Minaj. Like, we want to see that. You know. You have, well, then again, you also have the Brat. But I don't know, you know, the Brat has features, and she will monkey stomp a lot of features.
For me, it would have been somebody that the same genre type music. I feel like Trina made that music to where it's like, I don't know. It's the nasty, in your face. And it's also nasty, Southern. Whenever you're dealing with Southern versus North, I don't ever think it's a good matchup, because regionally different people are going to rock with you.
Absolutely.
That's the case.
Absolutely.
All in all, it seems like we're both on the same page. We say, you know, Trina's gonna bow out to Eve, and it's I don't think it's gonna be a judge's decision. This may be finished by the 12th round, but and they got 20 rounds to go. So we both on the same page with that. We'll check back and see if we're wrong. Next up, go ahead.
I have a quick question. So if you had to give a percentage on who would win this battle, where would you give that percentage at?
Oh, I think it's going to be. See, that's the thing. I'm not underestimating how this. They mess around and have this in Club Live again or something like that. You know, you mess around and then everybody thinks. So for that element, the fact that people from the South are more loud than people up North, saying it's going to be, I'm going to put it closer to say 60-40. For me, anything can happen, even though I think I'm giving Eve that 60. That 60 is more generous toward Trina to say, well, you mess around and play the right record at the right time, and then she's still all the females in the audience.
Yeah, and I honestly, I agree with you. I would go at 60-40 as well.
All right, cool. So we on the same page. And then also, I mean, she's so quotable, her lines. I hear more women quote her than like some motivational speakers. So it's like,
I mean, she the baddest bee.
Exactly. That's like the go-to phrase that women use.
Absolutely.
All right, so next up, I actually think this matchup is a little bit better. And I know what's weird is you started bringing this up before this was even entertained online.
Absolutely.
And it's Bow Wow versus Soulja Boy. And you have that they have it for what date?
June 26th.
All right, we're not gonna wait that long. We might as well talk about it now. Who do you got winning? And I guess why? We'll start off with tell me who you think gonna win. We'll do it backwards this time.
Okay. I think if we go back, let's go back. I think this would probably be the best matchup. Remember, I know Romeo had extended the olive branch to Bow Wow, but that would have been very ugly. That would have been an ugly battle.
Well, it would have been decent if they let them do like 3 rounds, like instead of pick your best 3 songs. And then it would have been Bow Wow. It would have been exactly.
I think Bow Wow would have won 3-0.
Exactly. It would have been it would have been a quicker bout. But so this one,
I'm okay with this battle being the fact that Bow Wow came in. When he came in, he ran the airways. He ran 106 in Park. Soulja Boy came in and had one of the biggest songs in, if we're gonna call it rap history.
Yeah.
The downloaded ringtone and that Soulja Boy tell him or crank that.
Yep.
I've seen
Teachers. He has a couple of those records, to be honest.
He does. But I remember that song specifically. That song came out my very first year when I taught at a middle school. And the dances, the school dances, or the pep
talking about the
crank that, yep.
Yeah.
The school dances or the pep rallies we had at the school. And once the DJ played that song, the whole student body actually did the whole, choreographed dance to go with it. So I think this is going to be a good one. I think Soulja Boy has the biggest song between the two. Yeah. Definitely. I don't think it's even arguable.
He has a couple songs actually that are just like gigantic. Yeah. And honestly, if he walks away with fewer victories, it's still going to skew a couple people's mindset, because when he wins his rounds, it's going to be a clear domination. Not Absolutely. Just with Crank That. I'm trying to think of other ones.
He had Turn My Swag on.
Yeah, Turn My Swag On. That's like at every pool party, every party. Yeah. And then also he has 2 errors. Like so does Bow Wow. Bow Wow, you have Little Bow Wow and then you have Bow Wow.
Yep.
I wrote some songs down. I know for Bow Wow, Little Bow Wow has like, he has like 10 songs, and then Bow Wow has like 5 songs. But the Soulja Boy has like 7 songs, and then Big Draco has like 5 songs. You don't even know that's him. Like it's songs that he'll have, and I'm like, oh, I don't be knowing that's him. So so
make it clap.
And a lot of people was doing the challenge and they didn't know it was him. I'm like, he say Big Draco in the song, like in the beginning or whatever, but he done trick people into like forgetting, like, hey, if y'all gonna hate on me, I'm gonna just like, this is my other alias for Bow Wow. These are just a couple. These are a couple of songs that I listed. For Bow Wow has Let Me Hold You Down, Shorty Like Mine, Out of My System, Fresh as I'm Is, That's My Name, which is Bow Wow Wow, Yippee Oh Yippee A. Like You, the one, all right, Bounce With Me, Basketball, Take You Home, Puppy Love, Thank You, Ghetto Girls. Then you got the features, Hardball, you got Jumpin', and then JD's laced them up nice with remixes. I'm not even going to go into detail with all of those, but he's going to include those. So that's 15 songs without me including the remixes. For Soulja Boy, these are just going to be like heavy hitters where if he plays them, he's going to win that round depending on the matchup. But you got Crank That, Kiss Me Through the Phone, Pretty Boy Swag, Ya Trick Ya, Turn My Swag On, Donk, and then She Make It Clap, and then like 4 of the records that so it's like he may have fewer tracks, but it's the tracks that he has, they're monumental. So here's the big question: with everything that we just named, who do you have winning this?
I think Bow Wow's catalog is going to carry him through. He's going to carry him through it, and he's also a better rapper. So for him to jump
with verses, though, I don't think that matters. But I agree.
No, it doesn't matter. But like he can jump on a song with Destiny's Child as a kid, but as he's actually rapping and how he's projecting his words as a rapper, how his fluidity of how he's rapping. I think that helps as well, along with he has a song with Jagged Edge. I think he's featured on it. The one he's featured on.
It's his.
He has one, but he has another one that I believe he's featured on. I think it's him and the Brat. Big song. He did pretty good on that one. He did really well on that one. I just think that he has just a little more, he has more depth more songs that he can kind of load up with.
Yeah, he does.
In comparison to Soulja Boy, because you know Soulja Boy went through a time where nobody kind of listened at his music because it got kind of okay. We don't want to hear that, you know. But I got Bow Wow with the win.
I got it too. I mean, I feel like this one is going to be a situation where the person that wins them, well, both of them are going to win because I think both of them are kind of clowned in the industry. But people forget, like, hey, we got some big records. So I think once people see that on screen, they'll both kind of gain some respect. Yeah. So I got Bow Wow. If I have to put a percentage on it, Bow Wow just has a huge catalog to where the songs that Soulja Boy I listed, even if he won all of those rounds, I'm still going 70-30. Bow Wow has 70.
Oh wow, 70-30.
Yeah, I feel like I don't see a likely situation where he loses this matchup.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I didn't have it at 70. I had it more, again, I'm going back at 60-40. And like you said, if I go first, or let's say if I go second, depending on the song, if I'm Big Draco, depends on if I want to try to steal that round or do I throw that round away. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you saw him. I don't know if you saw him in interviews. He's he got an arrogance about him to where I think he'll end up playing something that he has no business playing in that round because he has that much confidence in his catalog. I admire the confidence, but he might be his worst enemy. So we'll see. So I think it's going to be entertaining. I think this is going to be one of the most entertaining verses that we've seen since a lot of memes are going to come out of this, more so than Teddy Riley. So it's going.
This is going to be meme heavy.
Yes, like, I'm watching this from beginning to end. Yes.
The only thing you're missing, I would bring in Ray J.
Who's to say he won't be there?
That's what I'm saying. I would bring.
I think
Ray
he might
J
have a lot of cameos.
Listen, when you watch Love and Hip Hop and you got Ray J, Soulja Boy, and what's my other boy? Safari. When those three get together, it's always something clown classic stuff going on. So I would have all of them together, and just make it a party because something fun is going to happen.
I agree. All right, here's speaking of fun. Here's the most fun that we're gonna have. The fun part is actually guessing who did they block off. Like, why would you choose to give us the next 3 weeks of verses and then omit, your main event 3 days before the 4th of July holiday?
And it's going to be at the Essence Festival.
All right, so that tells you a lot if you understand Essence.
Yes.
Crowd.
If you
now that you mention that,
for some of our listeners who may not know what Essence Festival is, it's a big festival they have. It's a 2-weekend festival in New Orleans that they have every year, and that's when they bring in a lot of musical talent of old and young, and you just 2-3 days worth of music, food, acts. It's down in New Orleans, so I'm going to assume it's going to be R&B.
Well, you know what? I wish I would have known that prior, because now that I'm looking at Essence, I'm like, okay, some of these acts that I'm naming don't fit the Essence profile, but I'm just going to stick with what I got. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back and forth. I don't have a coin with me. I'm not going to do a coin toss. So you want to go first or second?
Yeah. Okay.
You pick one. What you want to do, first or second?
I'll go first.
All right, so what'll happen is you give me a matchup that you think is a possibility, and then I'll go, and then we'll do that 3 times. Hopefully, out of the 6 matchups we present, that ends up happening on July 1st, and we'll circle back to this video to see if we were right. So, round 1, who you got?
Round 1, this has been floating around for the longest. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out. Usher versus Chris Brown.
And then what other reason other than it's been floating around the longest do you have?
It's just been justify floating around. Okay, it's been floating around. Everybody in the musical, everybody who watches Versus wants to see it. it's just going to be, I think this would definitely be the biggest viewed versus of all time. It's kind of like that, Usher, they both kind of had the same pathway. If you think about it, like they both started very young,
very similar.
Both grew in the industry. It's almost like the changing of the guard where Usher had it and he kind of it passed down, and I just think this is the perfect time to do it. Essence Festival. This is the first. They didn't have it last year due to COVID and quarantine. You bringing it back?
It'll be a nice way to get some eyeballs on the festival.
Oh, definitely.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push with your Usher selection, but I'm gonna change out one. And if I would have known about the Essence angle, I'm not gonna lie, I would have changed it. But I'm not gonna adjust my notes. So just know I didn't know about the Essence factor. But I'm going with Usher versus JT, Justin Timberlake. Let me tell you why. If you paid attention to the last verses with Swiss versus Timberland, you kind of you saw some commotion on stage when Justin Timberlake's catalog was brought up. Swizz was under the influence, drunk words, sober thoughts. He said, hey, if you love Black music, we want you on the stage. So I think they have been doing something to where they've been trying to negotiate to bring him, and he's kind of been pulling out. And I think the fact that he was called out publicly, he's in a rush to defend himself and step on the versus stage. So that is playing a factor into my decision, mainly because Swizz called him out, and I'm pretty sure they handled this situation behind closed doors, and I wouldn't be surprised if they already signed the contracts. So I got Usher versus Justin Timberlake. You have Usher versus Chris Brown. If Usher ends up on stage with somebody else, we'll split the difference, and we'll say that we were. I'll share my 50, you share your 50, and we were both 100% right. So okay. Next up, my next pick kind of fits Essence a little bit more, but you want to rotate and I go first this time?
Sure.
All right. So let's hear me out. It's 4th of July weekend. I don't even know if it falls on a weekend this year. I think it does. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but when I think of 4th of July, the artist that I think of the most, they used to literally call him like Mr. Box Office because he always had movies coming out 4th of July. I think of Will Smith, and I think that's the main person that warrants you blocking him out because he's so big that they would have to like block him out and censor his name on social media. So 4th of July, I got Will Smith versus LL Cool J. Both of these guys have a heavy summer catalog. LL Cool J was mentioned in the last verses as well. So Swiss brought him up when they played Headsprung. Okay. And I'm pretty sure there's an inside joke there that we don't know about. Once again, Will Smith has the power that warrants you censoring him on the poster, and they'll probably have him, make an announcement on his social media. The only other person I could think of is Jamie Foxx, but Jamie Foxx and Will Smith don't match up. But I could see Will Smith and LL Cool J. Even though I think it'll kind of be a knock on LL Cool J or whatever, because that's not, a lot of people don't consider Will Smith like real hip hop or whatever. But that's star power that I feel like it kind of fits the Essence Festival. His wife was literally in an Essence Festival movie. So this ties into all of that. So I got Will Smith versus LL Cool J.
Wow. Oh, wow. Those two people never came up on.
It's a creative pick.
Yeah, neither one of them was anywhere close to my imagination as far as when I thought about matchups. So I mean that's very interesting.
Yeah,
that's very interesting. And if it happens, man, I watch it.
If it happens, I'm getting a lot of cool points because I did some research on some possibilities. But at the end of the day, I'm more so thinking, okay, who's big enough for you to pull them off the poster? It's either going to be a producer, just because Tim and Swiss respect producers that much that to them, oh, we can't put this person on the flyer just because it's that big. Or it's going to be somebody that the world thinks is humongous. And Will Smith has that type of star power where it's like, we got to wait closer to the date to announce this. So who you got?
So I went rap as well. And we're in the city of New Orleans. So with that being said, I think this was going to be the first camp versus camp versus.
That would be nice. I already know where you're going.
No Limit
Yeah.
versus Cash Money.
Yep.
I think that being that we're bringing it back to New Orleans, it's going to be at the Essence Festival. I think Master P, I think Baby, I think that they can put whatever little differences they had. And matter of fact, they did an interview together. So whatever little beef or squabble they had prior, I think is resolved now. And
I think that may have been resolved. Like I just remember a couple BET Award like shows ago, like where Master P went on stage and said it was all love to them. So
yeah.
Something may have come up throughout the years.
But I know they had an actual sit down.
Yeah, I felt like
sit down.
Yeah,
so,
I felt like a lot. Yeah, I think this is possible, and I don't think any beef would stop it from happening.
I think this would be, again, maybe one of the biggest viewed battles ever. No Limit ran it, and Cash Money came and took it. So this is the perfect time to do it. Perfect time to do it.
So with that, it feels like, you know what? Now that you bring that up, it could be that they're just censoring the name because they don't want to take focus away from the Bow Wow and the Eve thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, certain people will be like, I'm just gonna wait till July 1st. I don't got time for this, so it could be that.
Yeah.
I like that pick. Third pick, I'll let you go back to back like I did. I'll let you do the honors of getting last up.
Okay, cool. Seeing that we have already, I think that Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind, and Fire set a tone. Their music is beloved throughout time, and that is my favorite battle so far. So, being that we're in Essence Festival, being that this is about music, I'm thinking the OJs versus Frankie Beverly and Maze. I think it's another Here Are Your Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Your music is timeless. You have some of the greatest music ever created. Here's the time. We're going to put you on Front Street. We're going to put you in front of our Essence crowd. Show the world, show the young kids why we love R&B, why we love music today. I think that this is perfect. This would be a perfect time for that to happen, because when I think about Jazz in the Garden down in Miami and the Funk Fests and things like, we always see like a Charlie Wilson on these things. So people are appreciating older music and the people who paved the way before them. So I really think it's going to be maybe the OJs and Frankie Beverly, or a group or somewhere, some person or people from that time era.
Yeah, don't hedge your bet. It actually sounds pretty good. Sounds better than my last pick. My last pick would do box office numbers, but I just don't see this being likely. Now that once again, I didn't go into this preparation knowing that it was going to be themed around or set at Essence Festival.
Okay.
But I did, I'm looking at more people that warrants, you got to censor that. That's too big. And we're not going to lose promotion if we keep this a secret. Certain people in this industry, if you keep their information under wraps, it actually brings you more publicity. And the first person that I'm naming is Jay-Z has that element to him. Like, that's why Beyonce and him always drop stuff last minute without any promotion. So Jay-Z versus Nas, I feel like that's something that people have been waiting for since the early 2000s. When Ether dropped, we just always been waiting for that boxing match that never happened. I do see Jay-Z getting more comfortable with talking to the press now, to where I feel like, maybe. But the same rules that apply for Will Smith apply for Jay-Z, to where it's like he's a little bit too big for promotion, to where you kind of need to keep that under wraps. So I don't think he's above accepting an invitation to Verzuz, especially since it's doing so much for the culture right now. So once again, this is something that people have been waiting for. If I had to change this, well, we'll get into honorable mentions after. Like, out of everything that I think is the most likely to happen, it's my number one pick. It's the Usher's going to be involved some shape or form, I think, when it comes to Essence. And I agree with you on that. I don't necessarily think it'll be the Chris Brown element, but definitely I feel like Usher, I think they're 50-50 on if they want to pair him up with Chris Brown or pair him up with Justin Timberlake. Okay. So yeah, but I also don't see them putting Justin Timberlake on Front Street during
Essence Festival. No,
yeah, so
not at Essence Festival.
If you had to do an honorable mention off the top of your head, who you got?
I probably would think. I think they would definitely go R&B.
Yep.
I think
I'm gonna tell you who
maybe bring back Drew Hill because they have
that. I don't feel like you would block that though.
But again, I think I don't know.
That's Drew Hill isn't. If you put Drew Hill on the poster, and I love Drew Hill. If you put Drew Hill on a poster versus, I don't honestly, if you erase the censorship, people may feel underwhelmed. Like, what? I thought y'all was bringing out Michael Jackson or Whitney.
Yeah.
I feel like you have that. If you're talking about Essence, man, New Edition are like the stepchildren of Essence Festival.
Absolutely.
So maybe New Edition versus Boyz II Men, maybe. JD,
I don't want to see that.
I want to see it. We already talked about this, but these are my honorable picks. Leave me alone. But
you already know why I say it.
I already know.
I'd rather see Jodeci and Boyz II Men.
I feel you, but the New Edition is so structured they can't go up against anyone else. So it's like I feel you, but maybe New Edition versus Boyz II Men, or I feel like if you censor that and then you remove the sticker to say this is who we got, nobody's gonna feel underwhelmed. And also, the fact that you had SWV, come on, right? Right after that, you had SWV come on, JD and the Brat gave cameos. Right after that, Bow Wow all of a sudden is comfortable with the idea of verses. So I think they talk, and I think they've been talking amongst each other to where maybe JD is that July 1st date. He has a lot of Essence music. I don't know who you would pair him up with. I don't think Puff Daddy's a good match, but I think if you go under Puff Daddy, you're setting somebody up to get washed.
My only thing about when I think about Puff, it's only two people I think about: Puff and Jay-Z. Puff, Jay-Z, and Beyonce. The reason why I say this because they are so. When you think about when Beyonce did the was it Coachella that she did, and she wasn't the highest paid artist on Coachella. However, she thought about that for a reason. I don't have to be the highest paid because I'm gonna use the footage from Coachella. I'm gonna make that into parlay it into a Netflix special.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I know Jay-Z and they're very business orientated. So will they be able to make it that they get because they're going to want a big cut. They're going to want a percentage.
They're going to be creative. I mean, look at the last when I think of Puff Daddy and Essence Festival, he parlayed his performance into a scene in Girls Trip. So they'll find a way to make it work for them. I'm just saying that I think stay off those names. I think it's more JD is probably primed for honorable mention to I think he would be open to it because Bow Wow just went up. The Brat just did a cameo. SWV just went up. And every time that happens, he gets royalties from all those songs.
Escape.
What did I say?
SWV.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. All right. So he gets royalties from all those songs.
Absolutely.
And he's like, oh, this is doing great for my catalog. Why don't I just go up myself? So I think he may go up against somebody. I just don't know who. And that would replace my Nas versus Jay-Z pick. I just don't think that's likely. This is my thing about the Jay-Z and Nas. If it was Jay-Z and Nas, I think they would do it more in a New York setting than they would anywhere else. That's why I'm like, remember, I'm like, I didn't know this was at play. So I'm like, I feel you. I'm not going to argue with that.
But I'm really leaning toward that Usher, man, because I think, or like you said, I see Usher. Well, we're talking about honorable mentions. I definitely see the New Edition.
Yeah,
I see that.
I just think those are like they help build Essence. Like Essence was like not really that even. It wasn't popping until they started really showcasing new Jack Swing artists. And there's footage online when everybody kept saying, "Oh, Bobby's still performing, Ralph is still performing." That started selling tickets for them. So I'm like, okay, if they're doing Essence, maybe it feels like like New Jack Swing kind of like built that whole movement, kind of like helped build up Essence to what it is today. So if you're looking for people to promote off of that banner, it's like, okay, maybe New Edition might be involved in some shape or form. I would like to see that.
Yeah. I think those are good picks. Those are good picks. I like it. I don't hate it.
Watch us be completely
totally wrong.
So now I'm anxious to come back and see, but enough about what we think. You got anything to say for when it comes to some change, some 2 cents?
Hey, 2 cents. Audience, add your 2 cents. Add your 2 cents. Who do you think? What do you think about the matchups? The June 16th, the June 26th, and the July 1st. Do you agree with us? Do you not agree with us? Please add it at the bottom. Add your 2 cents.
All right. Other than that, I mean, we'll look at our list and see how we compare. We'll come back to this. If we're right, we'll definitely. If I'm right, I'll use it against you, Bill. If I'm wrong, we just gonna act like this day never happened.
Yep.
So that's all that I got, man. Peace.
All right. Peace.